multiple places. We're going to hang out just a second while this technology is spooling up. I'll
Yeah.
have a really cool technology here to release in the coming weeks as I do this final test on this. And so far, doing really, really, really well. And we've
Mm.
locked in progress to the initiation phase. It is great. So we're going to go live. Hello, hello. This is Trevor Mickelson, and I am here to help you embrace prosperity. And I am here with Julian Cadiente. Wow, our story. It's crazy. You got to tune in. It's wild. Like, how did this man, this divinely aligned, masculine men, come into my life? The story is epic. And so I look forward to you connecting with Julian. Julian is the creator of the Mobile Hydration Holistic Education Station. Woo-wee! That's a mouthful. Let's say it again. The creator
Yeah.
of the Mobile Hydration
Well,
Holistical Education Station. There's so much wrapped up in this. And today,
yeah.
my friend, I mean, we talk a lot in the Embrace Prosperity Mastermind group, and we are connected
Yeah.
from, well, the fabric of the universe, same cut of the same string of the same cord. And today, gosh, we're going to dive into this magical quantum healing. Not a heal. We can't even use that word. Oops.
Oh,
We can't even
yes.
talk about the word healing. I meant to say Healy. That is what I meant to say. This is a class 2 pain medical device that has been cleared by the FDA for pain. So that's all we can speak about, Julian. Anything we speak about moving forward will be our personal testimonials that put out the warning, the restriction or whatever from liability of saying, hey, this is going to happen. No, this happened to us. This happened to me. This happened to my wife. This happened to my kids. What happened to you? Well, and the quantum, anything is possible, right?
Yes.
And so let's back up before we dive in, because I think I just went like 7 layers deep before I was ready to launch. Because I'm this whenever I get around your sphere of energy resonance, I'm like my inner child goes wild. I connect with this
Awesome.
unique place that it took me a very interesting and long, quite a while to awaken to my inner child and myself to be able to resonate at that level. And then Julian comes along, and this is last year, and you were one major confirmation, and we'll get into the words confirmation and advantage and things like that. We dive into the Embrace Prosperity Mastermind group all the time about that. You were one of the most impactful confirmation moments of my life, saying, go, go more, go more, do more of that. Like the universe saying, whoa, whoa, yeah, do that. Here's Julian to show you. And that's when you came in. So one,
Wow.
how do we met? Who are you? And then let's dive into our Healy, talking about Healy today. So Julian, the floor is yours, my friend. Who are you? What let's talk,
Thank
because
you.
my network needs to know who you are.
Thank you so much, brother. I really, really appreciate it. Well, hello, everybody, beautiful people. It's Tuesday. Today is so happy Tuesday. My name is Julian Paul Cadiente. I am so many different things, but a new label or a little kind of guide that I have tapped into is I'm really a holistic health and wellness education guide, coach, or whatever you want to call it. I'm here to guide others in hydrating on the deepest levels, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, social, and financial levels through special waters of bonding, of connection, of drinking waters, of so many different aspects of life. But I'm all about hydration and helping people to be in that hydrated mind, hydrated life, which really looks like feeling good every day, having the energy, the drive, the wisdom, the knowingness of the beauty and perfection of every single day, trusting in divine purpose, trusting in divine alignment, and just being from that hydrated place of abundance, feeling that you're always nourished, always in the right place, the right time. Everything's working out. Best case scenario. I help people to transform their lives from where I used to be in the past, which was just anxious, depressed, so just in my own mind and so self-sabotage mode, and I was just eating junk and just totally draining myself when I knew that there was so much more. And when I became hydrated, I realized that this was my calling to help others to fully hydrate on this deepest level. Trevor and I had actually connected 1 year ago. It was last June, and that's when I was really at such a the floorboards, man. I was at the base, the ground. I was really on the ground, and I was calling in. Just I was really focusing on a new level of abundance in my life for to help my anxiety, my depression, and also my bank account as well. And I knew that there was so much more to finances than um, just the normal everyday transactions and the job, the 40 hours a week, 9 to 5. I knew that there was so much more. I didn't know how to put it into terms, so I just one day typed in 5D finances, just next dimensional finances. And I'm looking, scrolling down, and I see Trevor's video. I'm like, what? I click on him like, this is exactly what I was calling in. This is exactly what I typed in. And I clicked on his video thumbnail, and I instantly just fell in love with Trevor. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've been calling in as my miracle. I immediately went to the freaking description, and I followed a free financial course, financial literacy for all course. And I just ravaged that course. I just took completely decoded and rewired my brain, rewired my body. Everything that Trevor had shown on there was just such a rewriting, overwrite of all my past crap, all the past beliefs, all the past junk. And when I finally had connected to him after just like Netflix binging his videos, I finally was like, here I am. Like I beat it. Like I'm at the final level. And as soon as I connected with Trevor, just mind blowing instant connection. And where my life looks now as compared to that time before Trevor was really just, I feel so amazing. I am so nourished in every single sense. Like, even though I've been unemployed for many months now, just I have this massive trust that I'm always going to have my cup full. And it always does. I always manage to pay the bills. I always manage to have food on the table, gas in the car, and just the next level of abundance of everything spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, social, and financial has happened. So that is my story to wrap it up. And um, I think I shared what needs to be shared.
Wow, that is awesome. And people, I'm so glad that you dove into that level that people do. Often, what's really interesting, Julian, is they look at the work that I do and they're like, well, who's ever going to search the search terms that you put your content out there for? And I go, my soul client, the ones that will devour the content that I place out there, the ones who will, and let me just take a step back, because here's the thing. How you have groove funnels in place. You got my financial education course for all. You're in the Embrace Prosperity Mastermind group. You're leveraging the Soul Client Attraction System. You have a Healy, and not one of those things did I talk you into doing. You actively went, how how is this going to get done? How are we going to do this? This is really what it is that we're looking to do. And come on. Yeah. This feels good to me. This feels good to me. And we've been on quite the journey. When you first got your Healy, I remember it was like it was magic the day that money came in, because it was right before the end of a sale, and you're sitting there going, oh, Trevor, I'm not sure how it'll come. I'm like, me neither. And doesn't that feel wonderful? And you're like, yeah, it does. Sitting in this place of wonder. I know it's mine. It's divinely mine. It is meant for, and you're wearing it today. So obviously it
Yeah.
happened to fruition. So, and this is where it's like, there is those self-destructive patterns and glass ceilings that we put around our own energetic field to put us out of, well, to keep us out from really what it is that we're hearts desiring and our hearts have the intention for, though we've been programmed to feel like this is what is safe for us. Instead, it's really the torture zone. And once we are able to ease through that, like the butterfly breaking out and no longer a caterpillar, right? You were in that ooey gooey kind of gel phase in your pupillus or pupus, is that whatever it's called, right? And
Yeah,
as
something
that
like that.
and that caterpillar, right? And you're sitting there going, what does the next phase look like? What is the next? And I was simply, what I love doing is giving people the gentle reminders, you are what you already are. And then I walk away, and then they come out and I'm like, guess what, baby bird? I'm here to serve. You did all the work yourself, literally. All I have been doing is showing up in service, serving unconditionally with no expectation on your timeline, not mine, and seeing individuals on your team growing with Healy. You're selling these Kangen water machines that are epically amazing for yourself. You're going to start these hydration stations, which are going to be driving around, helping individuals maximize and align their resonating frequencies with the cellular makeup of their body, which is comprised of 70% or more water. And as we all know about Masaru Emoto, right? That your water frequencies what it is that you're receiving from your, let's just say, radio station of a body, it's transmitting and receiving. Whatever it is transmitting is that which is you are receiving. So if you're looking at love, or what is this one? We got sun, that's sun. It's beautiful right there. So if you're a monk, want to meditate, and you freeze these, they create different crystalline structures. These are thought forms. This is what a vibration, if you've ever looked in vibration and watched sand or something like that, it makes these designs, and this is the same thing. Masaru Emoto studied this and realized every single time that you have the intention and focus on meditation of reverence, it's always going to come up in that crystalline form. And we are those same things. And you're sort of hearing from you, what I've heard from you, well, I'm inviting other individuals to know if they'd like to lean in like yourself and get a little bit closer here, because we're going to get in the real, is that individuals' lives are crystalline in form and structure and in memory. And we are expressing these misaligned representations of who it is that we truly are. And what it is I hear is you're grabbing all these tools, you created this course, you've created this book, you have this coaching program that says, hey, you're not a carbon-based life form, baby. You're a crystalline structure who is out there, and a galactic being coming in here as this consciousness, God through Julian's eyes, right? And you're sitting here saying, well, there's the way that we were taught to grow and learn and live, and then there's optimal. Which one would you prefer? And I know that we're on this side of that, which there's no separation. It's the exact same place and time. It's a decision and a choice that when we resonate, which you have with myself, because this is the way I speak to myself and my soul family. It's hard to even call you clients. It's not like you're not a client. To me, I look at you as I learned so much from you, Julian. How could I call you a client? We're friends. Like, we're soul family. We're coming in. It's like, hey, that thing that it is that you're doing, I love that. Yeah. This thing yeah. And then we're doing this thing, which is truly, truly awesome. So last, gosh, what was it? When did you get a Healy?
November.
November. I was going to say October, but November. So you've had it for a while, 8 months or so, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
So
it's almost a year.
Yeah. So from you as a crystalline based life form, you are, I mean, you're made up and comprised of your own frequencies, of the own thoughts that are resonating throughout your body, in your cells and your energetic field. What are the differences that you've experienced? Because you were focusing on making sure alkalinity and you have all the right approach for that. Now you are also implementing frequency into that. What has changed for you? What have you seen personally with yourself?
Definitely. Well, since I've had the Healy since November, immediately I knew that it was the perfect tuner. I like to compare it to a guitar tuner, and me being the guitar and just being able to play any note, any octave, any frequency that I really chose. So I loved having the opportunity to really send myself energy when I needed it the most, because I, of course, received a lot of information and upgrades from water, but then being able to have the guitar tuner to really tune into like, okay, maybe I just need a little bit more relaxation right now. And then I put on my bracelets and I just go straight to work. And by the next less than an hour, I'm already relaxing. And having this tool gives me such a leverage point to continue for the rest of my day, for the rest of my life. Like if I'm about to hop on a call or I have a lot to do today, pop on the energy program, and um, I can do lots of energetic work as well while I'm using the Healy. But even just sitting down, having the Healy on provides such a beautiful leverage point for me to continue throughout the rest of my day in the most optimum way possible. Like recently in San Diego, which was like a few days ago, I had my very first mobile hydration holistic health education pop up. And to have the Healy as a powerful tool to charge me up as much as I could for this day, because I went to sleep so late and I woke up like 2 hours later. I need a little boost, and having the Healy helps me so much. I'm like, okay, Healy, with what do I have the greatest resonance now? It does so much of the work for me, where I'm able to literally check what it is that's going to help me out the most, tap it on, let it run, and it will support me throughout the rest of the day. And then having the opportunity to actually have this device gave me such even more leverage points in my own healing journey. So there's of course times, like I said, where we get really tired or we're just not feeling our best during our dark night of the soul moments. We have another powerful tool to help us pop out quicker, help us like really alchemize, crystallize all these lessons that are coming to us in the best way possible. Like, of course, we must go through some of the pains and struggles, but those are all just teaching moments for us, and we can actually minimize that which is not serving for us. Sometimes we can really extend it too long, or we can just make all of these different conclusions and stories within these dark night of the soul moments. Having a tool that will help kind of be a powerful friend right by your side to help you get out of that place is just so helpful. And having my Reiki attunement last two weeks ago, I feel that having the Healy helped me to be prepared and be ready for that, because I'm operating at my most optimum frequency and I'm doing the things to put myself in that position of where I'm able to fully give all that I can and to fully receive. And just my energy work, my businesses, my services have just enhanced so much because of all the programs that I use just about on a daily basis. And it's one of the best tuners that you can invest for yourself, because dude, having an awesome life is so awesome. So I choose that.
Wow. Wow. It's so interesting how many people choose other things and they are in the unknown when it comes to being out of pain. I think a lot of people just don't know who they would be without pain. And it's like, who would they be without shame? Who would they be without fear? Who would they be without all of those? I'm not going to say negative emotions, because those negative emotions have created and helped support that dark shadow work that is, yeah, it's like, well, if it's it's there to help us go through this process to learn those lessons. That's where the lessons are. They're in the darkness, right? And we illuminate them with our hearts and our wisdom, and our path is through the darkness. And that's what we do as light workers, right? And so coming into this, what's amazing is that all of this started through the search and the desire to align with financial literacy of all things. And here you are, starting businesses, up and running coaching program, author, and you've got multiple businesses going. And you are in this place where a lot of people, and I'll just can extend from the conversations that we have had. And if anybody who wants to go back into the Embrace Prosperity Mastermind group and check out our earlier conversations, they're more than welcome to join. And this is how we talk. We get into a very vulnerable place and speak it how it is, because what's interesting is that you may not have even realized that frequency medicine was on your path. You may not have realized that it was going to require a certain level of technology for you to even accept those clients that are coming along. You may not have realized that for your journey, you were going to be required to purchase a $3,000 or $5,000 water system to do exactly what it does. So instead of using energy to break down the water so that you can absorb it, think about that. The water that is being drunk most often is that which your body requires energy. So if you're trying to stay hydrated, you're actually required to eat more. If you're trying to lose less or trying to weigh less, then you're actually going about everything like water is super duper key in this process. And here you are coming along going, well, in order to holistically support myself and my business the way that I prefer most optimally to run, to connect and support the client who it is that I would serve the most, they require this, they require that, they require this, they require that, they require this. And whether you knew that or you didn't, that's the path that people get on, is they have no idea what it is that they require. They show up because they're looking for something. And that it is that process of going, well, this is part of it. And yes, as a practitioner, health and wellness coach, and an individual who helps people change their life from a food standpoint, as well as a psychological trauma in there standpoint, shadow work, breathe, okay, we're all great. And we went through those devastating core traumas in seconds, literally. And those are the tools that you have that are accessible to you. Then the question of, Julian, well, how are your clients on an ongoing basis easily and gracefully obtaining flow? And I love that you said, well, simple, that Healy, I want one. Because guess what? You let me try it out. Whew, and there's the first Healy resonance session that we recorded. And that's on Choose Healy's YouTube channel that you can go and watch your very first experience with Healy, and you can see that exactly what we went through. And now you've been using this for almost a year. You've helped other people. What have been those type of experiences? Because for somebody to experience, like when I experienced, I immediately went, yep. And that's, don't leave that house. Don't leave the house without, like, we're going to get this, we're going to order this. And so since then it's launched around the world, and with my company, it's pretty phenomenal. The lack of sales and the ongoing desire that people have once they're able to try it. So from the individuals that you've shared this with, what are some of the experiences that they have experienced with the Healy with you and them?
Oh, absolutely. This part excites me a lot because I have had a lot of people just love the Healy from my family. And one of my favorite stories to share is of my grandma. Now, grandma, some deep healing, man. So in January of this year, 2021, she had two pretty serious falls in the house. And those pretty much disabled her to the point where I was cooking meals every single day for her. I was helping her walk to the bathroom in the middle of the night and throughout the day. And I sat, checked her blood every single day, make sure she had the medicine, make sure she had water. She was my child. She was literally my daughter uh, for that part of my life. And it was like that for a few months. And the entire time since the beginning, there was a certain frame where I intuitively felt like the Healy is just not right for her at this moment. There's something that she needs to experience right now. And when the time is ready, I will. And when that time finally came, I just she immediately just fell in love with it. The very first time I had popped it on, just right here, no cords, no nothing, because she has diabetes and all her other health conditions. I just want to be nice and gentle. I popped on the release program on the gold cycle. She knocked out. She freaking knocked out, man. It was awesome. And for her to knock out like that, when she would be up every single night, she would tell me that her knees are just so painful. They felt like there was knives stabbing from her arthritis and from the fall, or she was barely able to walk. And that was just such a debilitating aspect of or part of her life. And to have the Healy, like, bro, like, how valuable is it to watch your grandma go from knife stabbing pain to asleep and snoring like a baby every night? Like, just that just brings my heart. It makes me feel so whole to know that I chose to invest in my device, and a huge reason was because of her. And to see that she's asking me a few times like throughout the week, like, oh, can you turn the Healy on for me, or like, can we use the Healy? Like, for her to be debilitated to now, like, I came back home last night and she was out at the casino until like 10 and she was just partying it up. Like, she would not be able to do that so fast had it not been for me sharing that love and sharing the Healy, sharing such a powerful device where she didn't need to have to drink anything, take more pills, or have to do anything. I just literally tapped it on. Great night, I love you, and see you in the rising. It just, oh my gosh, man.
That's amazing. That's typical. I don't want to say amazing. I want to say that's pretty. I mean, it's not typical. It's not typical. None of this stuff. It's all fake and all whatever. I'm sure that it was just, yeah, your grandma telling lies to you after you literally spend 2 months caring for her. I'm sure it was. She told you that she felt better to help you feel better. No, no. Like, and this is what I tell people. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
no, my mother-in-law is kind of same story. She literally fell from like six steps up and just boom. And it's crazy what has happened in our house. And scary when you see those moments of like, is this the moment where everything changes because of a hip or an ankle or a knee injury? Because right after that, I mean, when I was going to school at UCSD and on my way I was going to go to medical school and be a doctor, and yeah, dodge that bullet, right? And what happened was one of the things that was very profound was how many people, once they have a hip injury specifically, the amount of issues and the bacterial buildup, and that has a potential of being a traumatic, slippery slope to an early death. That was always my takeaway was, wow, whatever you can do, inflammation, lifestyle, food, choice, wellness. I remember that was one of the very first times I did a cleanse. I did the master cleanse in college. It was like, I'm going to start getting out this tequila sometime, better my liver, my kidneys and all that. Like, yeah, maybe all those drugs and alcohol, maybe that wasn't such a great idea, because it leads into those things. And then for ourselves, I mean, I know exactly how that feels, and that's why I tell people. They go, well, what if it doesn't help improve my sleep? What if it doesn't optimize or align my bioenergetic field or my chakras or whatever? Like, I know there's like 10 million frequencies. What if it doesn't do all those? And I'm like, well, what if it What if it only worked for pain? What if it only did the pain deal? I mean, for you, I mean, what if it was only pain for your grandma? I mean, because that's the thing is maybe that's why she wasn't sleeping, is because she was in a lot of pain. And now that she's not in pain, oh, shoot. And then she's able to sleep better. Oh, isn't that interesting? Shoot, so much pain gone. And it's like, wow, okay, so grandma, check. So she's doing now, obviously she's at the casino. She's doing stuff. How long ago was that you were literally taking care of her?
It
How
was
long ago
only,
was that?
shoot, that was only like, let's see, we're about to hit July, so it was like April, um, beginning of May, like around that time is when I was still giving her lots of love and making sure that she was good. And just slowly but surely, she really built up that strength. So
Wow,
it's only been a few months, man.
it's only been a few months.
Yeah.
What's amazing is how many months go by for so many individuals who are in the unknown that is possible. I've got connected with our Airbnb host when I first got here. She's about 70 years old, 3 treatments. She got full mobility out of her shoulder. And basically this is the range of motion that she had because there was so much pain. Like this is what she could do. And now she's got full range mobility and everything like that because the pain, it was a 20-year locked solid shoulder. And now when I talked to her originally, I'm like, hey, Nancy, you want to share this with your friends and all that? She's like, no, I want it for me. Like this, I want it for me. I don't want to teach anybody about any. And now she's like, I think she's told all of like Southwest Oregon about it. And it's interesting for that demographic. They have no idea that the quantum field exists. They think it's some hocus pocus mumbo jumbo. And then you do a few treatments, they're like, I have no idea how it works. It's like, great. There's a lot that I still don't know. And I'm learning. And isn't it cool, though, that imagine this 200 years ago, I come over to your house, right? And I either walked or I took some horse powered apparatus or the horse, right? Because we're 200 years ago, right? And I went and I said, hey, Julian, I just talked to these guys. It's about a 5-week journey, but they're in New York City or wherever it is, right? I said, they have this laboratory, and well, I'll be talking different, right? And they got this all laboratory, right? And they're in there and they're talking about this electricity, and they got these things here, these switches. They call them the switches, and they said that they're going to put them on those things walls right there. So when you walk in the door, you flip them on. You're like, Trevor, you better stop talking about that devil mumbo jumbo to me. Now go and get the wick. Go and get the oil. Get back into town and take old Bessie and go get some oil for the lamp. Don't be talking about those cords. And it's like, it's the same paradigm shift where we are, what you're going through, what we're talking about, and what is going on in this world right now, realizing, oh, shoot, energy medicine has been around for the beginning of time, has really been popularized since the 1800s when homeopathy originated. It was really starting to boom in the early 1900s before, well, medical cartel got into some things and decided that, nope, gosh, if we resonate with optimal wellness, then people will be optimally well. And if they're optimally well, then that's unprofitable. Oops. And there goes the monopoly board, right? That business model wouldn't work. Oh, and then here comes the disruptors. That's right, star kids, star seeds. That's who we are. That's what we're doing here. We're aligning with our divine right to be in a crystalline chakra system instead of the fractured rainbow that you have in you. Because that's the question. How does the rainbow start? Fracture, right? And then you have beam of light coming in, separating. So the question, rainbow child, right? You galactic being who came in on a beam of light, like disalignment is misalignment, is everywhere, and it is out to get us. And even those ascended healer master types, so many clients who are just like, finally, wow, it's been a day working on everybody else and I have no energy left for myself. I've got no time for myself, and I deserve this. And that's where a lot of healer type light workers are, is where we've got that passion, whether it's a OCD complex about saving the world, who knows, right? But whatever it is, we are divinely inspired and to serve no matter how empty the cup is. And what I love about this, I mean, I swear there were bags underneath my eyes before I started this, but there are a little bit too, because our kiddo hurt his, and anyway, so we've been having some interesting nights the last few nights, but the amount of trauma our little kid received on his way to the ground, hitting his face and bending his wrist, we're going through that right now of, oh my gosh, is this going to be an 8-week deal? Is this going to be a 4-week deal? Or is this going to be a lifelong worth of trauma that you'll never remember, that will wait for you until you're ready to do your shadow work? Or your life will flash before your eyes on your deathbed, whatever that might be. So it's fun now or later, either way, it always comes down to 0 point when it's ready. But the idea, though, is that you are able to help your gran. And that is, for me right here, dude, you're doing generational family tree work with technology that is not understood by the vast majority of people on the planet. And what's amazing is she didn't need to know nothing in order to go, wow, I'm sleeping better. And that, when we got it, it was immediate, wow, I wonder else who we could help. I wonder how else. And then what it does is it turns from this kind of limited investment of, hey, let's help our own family. And then it really went to an infinite return on investment. We're able to serve unconditionally with no expectation. I don't know what's going to happen, right? I've got no expectations. Unconditionally, take it. You don't need to buy it. Just give it a shot for a few days. Let's see if it works. After 3-5 days, I mean, there's a time exchange there of something. It's got to be something, right? Because I probably hook 3 to 5 people up a day some days, so I can't be running energy all the time. And that's life. I'm with my kids and life and things like that. Though there is that opportunity to go, and realization that you don't need to know what's behind the switch in order to know that electricity is real. You don't need to know what is in this little cubic square to know that there's more energy in here than is powering LA. Like, you don't need to understand 0 point energy. You can internalize that there are people out there who have figured this stuff out more than 100 years ago. Yeah, Rife. Yeah, Tesla. Yeah. And so grandma's like at the casinos now. Who else? What's going on? What else is going on, Julian, with the people that are in your life? What about your other family members or other friends or individuals who have tried it?
Yeah, recently my dad, even though I've had the Healy for so long, like I didn't feel ready to give my dad a Healy treatment just yet. I knew it was coming, but I would plant seeds. I'm like, yeah, Dad, like I got this device, and my grandma's feeling a lot better, and he didn't really catch on to it. But then on Father's Day,
What a gift!
Yes, Father's Day. It was so perfect. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give my dad the gift of energy medicine and some healing. Like, I feel that he's calling it in, and he deserves it. He's really been showing up, and he had his, because my brother, he transitioned in September 2020. Yeah, September 2020. So he was dealing with his grieving period, and finally he actualized a truck for himself and a job, and he was just doing super well. And I knew now that it was the perfect time to give. It was now that it was the perfect time. So I hooked him up to the Healy just for 2 sessions, and he's had like carpal tunnel and like arthritis in his wrist for a long time. And even with those 2 sessions, like that same day, he still wasn't quite sure. But then when I saw him like a week later, he said, "You know what, son? Like since that session that we had, my wrists don't really hurt. They're tingling a little bit, but they don't really hurt." And
Whoa.
he was like, "I'm definitely gonna get one for myself, and just let's meet again this week so we can have another session." So like my dad's had that carpal tunnel in his wrist for decades, and he felt a lot better after those two freaking sessions. So I'll be meeting with dad this week so that we can continue helping him out because he has some other conditions that are really starting to seem like they're floating away.
Mm, wow. My dad just got a resonance on Father's Day. He came up, and so my sister, she's got a Healy, and their family dynamic totally shifted. And she's going to be doing a live with me shortly. And as our family dynamic changes and her family dynamic changes, my dad's sitting here going, well, that, I don't understand it. It's that flip, the switch on the wall deal. I get it, but I don't get it. I watch all these shows on the universe and galaxies, and they talk about this stuff, and there's just a little bit of resistance. He's like, you know what? If anybody's gonna be a good testimonial, it's gonna be me. Why not try it out? Just get it in the mail. Let's see if it works. What have I got to lose? Because all the other stuff, the extra popping in your mouth and the extra things that they're having to do, and it's like the outcome is the outcome is the outcome. I mean, you pretty much the place to go to have reportedly the most opportunity for misaligned and unpreferred and unoptimal is the system that already exists. Yeah, and that is that's the real. And I love the fact of how many individuals are going, you know what? There is another way, and I don't need to require myself almost to feel like I'm being ordered around, like that's the only option that I have to do. And that there are so many other options out there. Oh, geez, there's an electric car in Japan that was created that can go 200 kilometers back in the 1970s. You probably didn't know about that one. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So here we are. It's like, wait a second. If something as simple as an electric car got stopped in the 70s when there was gas shortages going on, that they wouldn't release it in order to, well, yeah, that's not going to make money, Jimmy. It's not gonna fly. That's the same thing with anything in this dynamic. And what I love about this, have you got into recording frequencies yet with yours?
Haven't done it yet.
Okay, well, this is those fun things. This is where it continues to give back because, I mean, it's a robust and yet easy, simple to use tool that, as you're saying, just pop. You said use the word, just pop it on grandma, hit it, and you're out. Peace, because that's what you can do. So there are those capabilities to record any frequency in the world, and then let's just say administer it into water. I do my baths all the time. I've started to put my I started to put my electrodes on my ankles because instead of having it on my wrists or whatever, it's more fun and flowy. But I'll take those electrodes and I'll put them, just drop them in my bath or drop them in my water. So you can, on your hydration station, you literally can help charge water besides what it is that you're already doing, and then like do those things. And what's really interesting and fun is how many things. So this is when we talk about budgeting like a badass in the Towards the Hair membership, the Financial Education for All course. Like this would be one of those options when we're going through that section of saying, hey, what are your ongoing monthly items on your budget? And now the question comes, is it fixed or is it variable? To go, well, it's fixed, but could be vibrational. So let's pluck that out of the quantum, snag that frequency, keep the money in my own pocket. Oh, wait, no, I'm going to holistically invest in my own future. Check mark. That's right. Embrace Prosperity Mastermind Group, invest in yourself, best investment you can possibly get. And then when you're rolling in the money and you got 7 layers deep and you're just like, what am I doing with all this change? I got so much stash, right? That's when, of course, we look into tax-free index accounts and we set up tax-free retirement programs, and you're doing what the Rockefellers are doing. And then you're playing the game of the money game. And that's what is required. It's no longer this 3D take over the monopoly board. That's bullshit, Julian. What you did is you said, you know what? That's fine. I deal with the quantum, and I'm going to go ahead and alchemize what it is that is already in my heart. And I get to call in every single person that is here along my path to aid and be served in order to connect with my heart's full intention. Woo! To serve to the highest good and optimal timeline of myself and the conscious collective. And then we find ourselves being in a position at complete receivership where last year or 2 years ago, it might have been a complete mind fuck of this ship's going down. And yet, as the world is crumbling around us, we see these moments to resonate and align and be that creator. Confirmation. Yeah, dude. To create like you create. And you're in that, man. I see you. I mean, I see your team growing within Kangen, within Healy. I see your coaching business. I see you giving away those books like nobody's business, and people going, wow, these pillars of holistical, wow, investment in myself. What a concept. You're saying if I fill my cup first, I'll, in a short amount of time, I'll still be able to give people what it is that they require. They'll all come with a full cup instead of an empty cup, and anything that comes in, I give away. So I'm always serving from emptiness. You know how to do that, Julian? And those people lining up, man. And the fact that you have the tools and the resources to help them bridge to that quantum level of connecting with their crystalline selves, woo, gives me chills. And that's why I love because you're in Southern California, right? Kind of the Palm Springs area. And so physically, you're able to connect with people down there if they're in the area. And shoot, I bet some people would be willing to drive to you to experience the Healy. Though if they're not in the area, you have a resonance. So you're able to connect with people wherever they are in the world, which is awesome. And you're willing to do that, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
How often? I mean, if people got on your calendar today, would you make time sometime this week?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I would love to. Every time I have a session like that, it's so empowering just to hold space for that person and share some love.
Yeah. That's why I love you so much, man. That's it. That's a simple, it's like, it's all that's required. Sit and share love with people. And then people buy it. They go, how do I get one?
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I like looking at the time. I want to honor the time in culmination, man. In the description link down below, there's your link. It's not mine, it's your link. Because in what is it we're doing here and what is it we're building, like you're drawn to me for a reason. And I divinely am so connected to what it is that you are capable of, that for me to shine a light and love on what it is that you're doing, it's an exponential energy exchange. I mean, it feels so much better than doing an equal energy exchange. And this is something of the fifth dimensional energy, like this stuff I have not shared in publicly, period. And that to ease into these new downloaded concepts of spiritual aligning practices that are going to come out. And when you go to the tortoiseandharemembership.com, it'll have right now the landing pages is solely for the financial education for all course. Though in there is a soul client attraction system, because we haven't even talked about what the Embrace Prosperity Mastermind group does or anything about aligning with soul clients. I wanted to and really felt drawn to connecting with you because you are that soul client and your soul partner and your soul family. and your soul friend, then that's it. It's the all encompassing. And what people, uh, what's amazing is how many individuals are in disbelief that this can happen to them every single time, every single day, in every single way that they choose to express their heart's intentions. Because quite honestly, it doesn't matter what it is that we do. It's all art at this level. And it's the immense value is seen within our hearts, and it resonates with one buyer or maybe two, and then they have a bid off. And then you're like, this is the quantum. You both can have it at your energy value level, right? And that's what we're getting to do right now, is create art on earth. Because without art, earth is just right? And that is what we get to do. So on this subject, because when people get a Healy from you, they get your book, right? And they also get like a session with you as well to really sit and be and really understand how to truly invest in their own health. Really quickly, what is a session? And we're talking after experiencing the Healy. This will be different. This is after, right? This is after they purchase a gold or a holistic health or an aura or a resonance or the professional edition that will be coming out, all of those. So after they experience it, that one-on-one session, what does that look like for them to connect and go through a little bit of your process? What does that look like? Because I know the values, I mean, it's probably up there like $250 for what it is that you're, at least $250 for what it is that you're going to be gifting them to be a part of your team.
Yes. So the process that has been coming up is really like having the session and having just the most beautiful, no expectation session that I can provide for somebody. And it's really up to your soul and exactly what it is that is most aligned for you that you will be receiving. But it's just, even just making that choice of hopping on a call, you're instantly provided with that value. Like being able to share this beautiful ebook that I made with you is just so exciting for you to dive in deeper, because once you start to experience one of these sessions or really experience the Healy, it's kind of like well, I can't go back. I know too much and I can't go back now. So it's kind of like that. So I'm here to support you and guide you in continuing that path for yourself, because you'll see that investing in yourself is really multiplying your wealth. It's investing in yourself, multiplying your wealth in every single aspect, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, social, and financial, that happens for you, that is just saturated in your body as long as you choose so. So lots
So
of
when they
value.
when they get a Healy, what does the next one-on-one session look like? Like when
Oh,
they're on a call or doing a Zoom or even in person? Because that's your, I'm trying to get the special sauce out of you, what's to come afterwards. Because I know it's at least, because your time is valuable. I know that you have your coaching session up there for, I mean, it is comparable to the coaches on your level. So I know the value that you're going to be giving them is at least $250 of after the purchase, it's in there. So they're sitting with their Healy, you got your Healy, we're either like this or in person, hugging on them. What is that session? Because that is the first coaching session. And it's kind of I don't remember exactly how it's going to go, but you do for that first, hey, let's utilize the Healy and let's do some work. So what kind of a sneak peek, what are you going to be walking people through on that first real session of really going in and utilizing the Healy from a holistical investor approach of your company? What does that look like?
absolutely. So what the next session after you invest in yourself is really going to be focused around a simple, easy to embrace way of embodying your own truest self. So knowing how to work the Healy, knowing the little kinks in the road, just having a greater knowledge of how to utilize and embody your tools in every single day is really, really valuable, so that you whatever situation you have, your mom gets hurt and you want to send her some love, or you just want to set something for yourself for the day. It's really about the basics and getting into the nitty gritty in such a simple way that you can apply in every single day. And even having the most simple session can lead into just something really, really deep, because it's in the embracing and in embodying that matters the most. And that's it goes deeper and deeper. I'm still really making making it into form. It's always a very intuitive session. It's always a very intuitive session that comes up, especially like after having a Healy session or connecting with someone on a deep level. It's so catered to you and to your needs, and really getting down to the biggest questions and the biggest concerns of your life. That's what we go through. So it transforms and caters to everybody in such a unique way. But it's a way that we can go in and receive the simple details, but have those simple details be what can change us for the rest of the entire path.
Right.
So
Because it's
yeah,
either social, emotional, mental, fear, spiritual, financial, like those pillars. It's one of those. So it's
yeah,
finding and seeking and discovering which is your limiting, and then really allowing that to, yeah, ease through. Because
mhm,
man, the work that we've done together, there's been some major, major shifts that have happened. And on my side, personally, major shifts. I mean, your side, wow, I mean, we could go head to head on like, oh, this is what's changed, and for both of us. And what's really amazing is how graceful this process can become. And over the almost year now that I've had the Healy, I would say that I personally, and with individuals, my soul clients, soul family, soul partners who have embraced this, we've all been able to supersede in a very rapid manner that which is that in comparison with what we've experienced in the past, is far greater and grander. And what's really wonderful is having it simply be that intuitive, well, let's, at the same state of mind, we're not going to really solve the same problems. So let's dive into the quantum, figure out where that pain is that I keep hitting my head against, or that pain of that mental block, that pain of that limiting belief, that pain of those self-destructive patterns, whatever that might be, or physical pain, shoot, whatever is stopping you. And what I love is that whichever direction it goes, you're capable of supporting them in that direction and beyond. And your journey of where you've come from, I suggest and recommend people find you, Holistical Investor, on YouTube, subscribe to, connect with you on Instagram, on Facebook, and find you and find a way to immerse themselves in your resonance, in your vibration, because it's palatable, man. Palpable. I feel it. And it's one of those moments when you showed, I went, whoa, I feel a disturbance in the force moment, you know? So
yeah.
anywho, thank you so much for showing up, Julian. A year ago, literally almost to the day, we've been hanging out for a year. How magical is that? That
So
this is the
fucking
time.
magical.
The 25th, the 25th of June. That was the day. So
Wow.
yeah, man. So 25th of June, 2020. So, and then here it's all, wow. It's hard to express. So thank you very
Yeah.
much for your investment in connecting. And again, anybody's looking for Healy, anybody's looking for an individual to connect themselves with, Julian Paul Cadiente is one of those options that you have. And if you resonate with them, join Team Holistical Investor. Highly recommended and personally tested. So it's been a beautiful 365. And yeah, Mr. I appreciate and I look forward to the many journeys that we have on our own hero's journey to come together and tell victories and these stories that we have had, and the individuals that we've helped and enlightened to their own intercension process that they're going through right now and connecting in these very potentially traumatizing times, and to learn how to be the eye of the storm and to consolidate their focus and bring the peace and be the peace around them. So I appreciate you being a guiding light.
I honor you for recognizing me and giving me the space to share with everybody. Like, I love you so much, and I'm so honored of you being in my life. I love you so much, man.
I love you
Thank
too. I love
you.
serving you. And wow, my heart, it's like, it feels like a normal Tuesday, you know? It's like, this is the life.
Yes.
This is the real. Hey, Trevor, why are your eyes so puffy all the time? Because I'm crying. It's emotion. I'm transmutating like generational lifetimes of energy right now in this moment. It's so, woo, the waves of gratitude and appreciation are here. And wow. Yeah. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Look forward to connecting with you soon again. And yeah, every other Tuesday, the Embrace Prosperity Mastermind group. Oh, not every other, first and third Tuesday of the month, because this is the 5th Tuesday. Somebody was very sad. They sent me a text. I can't make it. This is recorded. I'm like,
oh yes.
don't worry, baby bird. I know you're excited. I'm excited too. We'll see you on the 1st. Tuesday. Oh, it's so good. So I can talk to you all day, man. And I appreciate you. We'll look forward to chatting soon.
Thank you, brother. I look forward.
Soon.